Okay, this time we're going to move on to the assignments that are part of our 5370 class. You'll find all of the assignments on the Assignments tab, and I have them listed as icon buttons for you to open. The first one is the graduate seminar information. You should have received an invitation from Dr. Weimer to watch the live event on September the 1st. If you can't watch the live event, it will be archived there and you'll be able to watch it later. I do have a backup plan just in case something were to happen, and we have our last semester's graduate seminar overview. This is really an overview of our entire program. It's very important that you participate in this to get a good understanding of what your next couple of years are going to be like. So after you view the seminar, you're actually going to have a test over it. It's not too hard, don't worry about it, but there is a graduate seminar quiz. So when you open it, it's going to tell you that it can be saved and returned to later on. The due date is going to be September the 3rd, which is 2 days after the graduate seminar. And that way you'll have time to go back there. And you'll just click begin on the test, and you'll go forward with that. 20 questions. Okay, then moving on, we have our listserv participation. And what this means is listservs are kind of like giant email groups. So for this class, you're going to be joining a couple of groups, 2 of them. One is our state level one called TLC, or Texas Library Connection, and one is a national one called LMNet, which is Library Media Network. Those are 2 very, very important groups. You're going to join them, and you're going to document that you joined them. And then you're going to kind of lurk, follow them, and see what they're like. And you're going to pick one that you're going to actually reach out on and communicate with. Okay. Now, as well, it is expected that you join LibSci, Library Science, which is our Sam Houston Yahoo group. You should have already done this early on. You would have had an email from our secretary, Rebecca Lewis, with instructions on how to join this group. But if not, here's the steps for that. So 3 things that you're joining are college, our state, and our national groups. Down here are the requirements for the assignment. And all of these things are going to be put onto one document. Let me see if I can get down to there. One document that you are going to put onto the live binder. Now you remember that's the portfolio I told you about. It's an online portfolio. So you'll have a page that's all about the listservs, and you'll upload your one document to it, and you'll have a reflection on there describing the usefulness for this kind of groups. Okay. Then we have Leaders in School Librarianship, a podcast. You'll learn how to do podcasts. There's a variety of tools that you can use. I'm not going to be picky about that, but you're going to find one famous librarian that you are interested in. And if you don't know who they are, great, you just pick one. And this is the list of them here. You'll find that list by clicking this hyperlink, and once you add your name is going to show up here on the side as you are the student who has chosen that one. That way we won't have overlap, and you'll be able to each have your own unique person. And because you want unique ones, because you'll be going through and listening to and commenting about some of your peers' work. Then we're going to have an assignment called Higher Order Thinking Graphic Organizers. So you're going to do a little bit of reading about using computers as tools for higher order thinking. If you know much about the library world yet, you know that we've really become heavy technology users and heavy technology trainers. So you're going to do some reading to find out a little bit more about technology use. And then you're going to build some graphic organizers that are described down here to tell us about your learning. Next, TLA and ALA membership and participation. Now this time you're going to be joining our state TLA and our national ALA groups. There are associations that we belong to, and this is where we learn a lot. We can go to conferences, we can participate in webinars, they have magazines that they send out. So you're going to join these two groups as students, and they have a greatly reduced student price. That's a combo price for joining them. And you're going to visit their websites, tour, see what you can find, and you're going to talk about that in here. So again, we're going to have a Word document that's saved to a PDF where you do all of these things down here. Prove that you join them, document your activity that you search for on there, and of course it needs to be a professional quality, and then you're going to add it as another page in your live binder, your portfolio. One single page for this assignment. Okay, next I have podcast feedback, where we're asking for you to visit the discussion board, and you are going to listen to several of your classmates' podcasts, and you're going to tell them what you liked and what you learned about that person. You might tell them about your initial reaction after listening to it, and it's your job to do that. Choose several that you're going to do, and we're going to make sure that everybody gets covered. So here it says last names A through M. You're going to all evaluate each other's podcasts. So if our class has 20, A to M might be the first 10, and if you're in that group, you're going to evaluate that. If your last name is N through Z, then you're going to evaluate the other podcasts from the N through Z. Next, collaborative newsletter. Librarians make newsletters all the time. Some could be print, but more and more they're becoming digital online newsletters. So you're going to create a group. And how are you going to find a group to do that? Well, if you remember on the discussion board, open it in a new button, new tab, there was a place to have student-to-student discussion. So this is a place for you to start talking together and finding out who maybe lives by you or who would be interested in joining in a group with you. And then we have the different assignments that are things that need to show up in this newsletter. Different kinds of research, things about intellectual property. So when you're done, you're going to have these components, and they need to be very obvious to me so that I can find where did you have Lance research? Where did you have Crash and Lee and McQuillan research? All of these things need to be very obvious to me so I can see them and give you credit for doing that. It is a team assignment. You will have a team grade, so everybody will work very hard together for that. Okay, next we have something called networking in your area. It's very, very important that you learn who your library community and your library supporters are. And so this is going to help you get familiar with the district that you live in and possibly the district that you work in. Even if you do not work in a district currently, you still live in a school district. So if you'll use that as your example here, you're going to create a list of who the contacts are, the key people. And you're going to develop a plan of how you're going to reach out. How are you going to keep them informed on what's happening? How are you going to advocate for your library? And you'll include some sample documents here of, like if you say you would do a newsletter, then you would have a sample newsletter. If you say that you would do some social media posts, then you would create some sample social media posts. And again, we have all of the components down here of what I'm looking for in the grade, and you'll submit that. Next, we have online journal brochure. You're going to be reviewing some different library journals. And here's where you're going to find these journals. Down here, Dr. Weimer has a wiki site. Let's see if I can open it in another window here. And on here, she has links to a variety of different professional reading. So professional reading online, let's try that one. And here she has different online journals, and you can choose ones that are most interesting to you. They might be technology related. They could just be general librarianship, literature, education related. You'll choose several of those, and then you'll be creating a brochure to advertise those journals. It might be a brochure that you would share with other librarians in your district or with other teachers in your district. Just a way to kind of showcase them and the value that you found there. Back to more. We have online hardware and software review. Now really that also includes apps, but often librarians are the one that a principal will turn to and say, we need a new fill in the blank. Could you please make some recommendations for me? And you as a librarian would have to get out there and start hunting and finding the best of the best. So you're going to go on a hunt for a piece of hardware, software, or even an app that your school might need, and you're going to create a review about it. Tells you some places you might go to find some of your reviews, because they're going to want to know who was the expert who recommended this. What did they say about it? You're going to review one product that has at least 3 professional reviews. Okay. Here's a list of all the things that need to be on your review. And then here's just a reminder of how you earn the points for that. And your final assignment is a discussion board. And it will appear on there. It's just it doesn't populate yet because it's not that month yet. But let me go back now to the typical assignment, like the listserv participation. What do you do? I mean, this says, please submit your URL to LiveBinders in the assignment box. So let me come down here on the very bottom. Always on the very bottom, there's a hyperlink. And what this hyperlink does is it opens up the gradebook for me. So when you click it, you're activating the gradebook for me. Here's a reminder of what the pieces of the assignment are, how many points it's worth, when it's due. At the very bottom, here's the part where you're going to submit it, assignment submission. Now you have a couple of choices. You might just simply be attaching a file where you browse your computer and upload it. But a lot of times it's going to be, like in this case, I asked for your LiveBinder URL. So you would write, my URL is, and then you'll give me that link, www. Whatever your link is.com, and then you're going to go ahead and submit that. Once you submit it down here on the bottom, that's what sends it into my gradebook. It turns on for me, and then I have the option to get in there and grade for you. So if you do not submit it, then I'm not going to have a place to get in there and grade. So it's very, very important. Now, if you're working on this and it's not quite done, you can do save as a draft, but just make sure you come back and do the submit button. So that's how our assignments work. That's an overview of all of our assignments. Please remember that it's very important or very helpful for you if you would sign up for the Remind alerts, and you will have texts sent to your phone where you're going to be able to have the reminders that an assignment is due the next day. And that way you'll always stay on top of things, and you'll always have advance notice. Now I also do want to point out on our GPS due dates, we do have, here's the semester runs from August 26th through December 4th. So in our class, all assignments have to be turned in by the last day of class, which is December the 4th. You do not have a final exam, so nothing is due during finals week. So last day of class, December 4th, right here, you can see that's our final due dates. You earn points in this class, and those points are how you will add up to get an A, a B, a C. There's no D's in graduate school, or an F. Now you really want to strive for the A's and the B's. You're only allowed, I believe, 2 C's. I'd have to confirm that number, but I believe it's 2, or you would no longer be allowed to continue in the program. So stay sharp, do everything that's required. Always read the print where I describe what is due, and you should do excellent in this class. I look forward to meeting you through our, let me get back on our discussion board. I look forward to meeting you on our Padlet, where I have this week 1 introductions Padlet. If you'll click that, there'll be a place for you to add a comment about yourself, a little bit more information about yourself. Talk to you soon.